Day 3. October 20th, 21st. Today is the morning of the 22nd. I did not get a whole lot further than that little, quite an oasis, I liked it a lot, that I spent yesterday afternoon at. Got a ways down the road, and of course, poor old dog, he's just getting so stove up. I've got to take this as slow as possible, lots of breaks. Got to a spot, pulled off. There was some piles of hay bales. Should have got some footage of that, but you know, by the time I'm getting ready, I start getting ready at about 5 o'clock in the morning or so. Well, I start thinking about waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Start getting ready soon after 5:20 or so that I'm moving out. I'm hitting the road at as close to sunup as possible. And once I get going, yes, there's traffic. God, my lips are so sore. The inside of my mouth. It sucks. So once I get going on getting going, it's hard to stop. It comes down to the point where I've got everything except my backpack on me and the bedding, and maybe the bedding up. And I need to get the dogs out from under the blankets, off the, it's a pop-up cover that I'm using as a ground cloth tarp sort of thing. I have to get them rousted off of that, get the ground cover rolled up and stowed. Get the ground cover, get the ground cloth, dogs off the ground cloth, get the ground cloth up and rolled and stowed in my backpack. Get the blanket, in this case we just used one blanket, rolled up with the rest of the blankets and attached to the bike. And then they get the poor shivering doggies attached to the bike and get my backpack on me, and then we're on the road and we giggity go. Giggity. So we're still not to Brawley, but let's see, you should be able to see that there is civilization out here. And you can just start seeing on the nearest part of the horizon, you can see, now you can hear traffic, but what can you see? You can just see on the nearest part of the horizon, maybe, hopefully, the trees and buildings and such. So we've got, oh, that'd be a mile, that'd be 2 miles. So 2.5, 3 miles, I think, maybe 4. We'll get in there. What am I going to do in Brawley? Well, you know, it was really nice. Guy just pulled over. He gave me 3 bottles of water. 2 of them have been used, but you know, he wanted to give me something for the dogs at least. I said, hey, have you got any weird mouth fungus? I mean, this isn't tainted water, is it? And he said, no. I said, well, you know, I'm not squeamish about that. Thank you very much. Like liter bottles, so you know, pretty good. Pretty good score. It's not as hot, and of course, people are back to school. People are at work. They're not doing their vacation. So more people just kind of focused on work at this point. But the 2 weeks that I had done prior, and I'll tell you more about that at some point, the 2 weeks that I'd done prior, I had people pulling over, particularly when I was staked out by the side of the road with the dogs, you know, in as much shade as I could get, waiting out the heat of the day. Oh, people would pull over all the time. And pretty often when I was pushing the bike, especially when I was going uphill. Nothing like a poor guy pushing a shitload of gear up a hill with a couple dogs to get people feeling sorry. So yeah, I'm not picking up as much water quite yet, but it's only day 3, and I already got my first one. That's pretty good. People, when it comes to this country, I don't have faith in my fellow citizens. When it comes to our democracy, when it comes to the future of the country, I don't have faith. I no longer have faith. That's why I'm out here. I'm pissed off. I feel powerless. I feel despondent. Just all that shit. And I don't want to have to deal with that and work and bills and all that shit. That's why I'm out here. Things get better, I'll come back. But the country owes me something. I've always lived right. Went to high school, did well in high school. Went to college because you gotta go to college. That's what everyone was saying. The myth of the college degree. And yet I was already starting to see people that were getting college degrees and getting nothing. So me dropping out of college almost to the end, that's not such a big thing. I went on and had a pretty good working career. You know, it's bitch, I know. But I know there are other people out there that have experienced the same thing. Other people that think the same things that I'm saying. So, you're not alone. And I'll bet a lot of the things I say and a lot of things I do, or at least I hope, that they'll give some people pause, make people think a bit. Anyway, you know, I see some, I don't know if you can see this, Rumex crispus. I want it. Yeah, I know that they spray these banks. But that's curly dog. That is some of the best spring and fall greens you can get. I want that. It's young, it's tender, it's pushing up from the roots. Obviously, it hasn't been killed. The question is how much chemical is actually in it, and how much is that actually going to hurt me? Considering how many chemicals I breathe in the air just being in here in the Imperial Valley. You know, from the drift and the dust from agricultural land and from the dust that gets blown over from the sea, from the Salton Sea. That stuff's the scary stuff. That's like super fun shit. Super fund. We put the fun in super fun site. Yeah, have an extra eye. Have only one eye. Yeah, well, I'm probably gonna go grab a handful of that. I don't know, dry it? Might dry it. Yeah, we'll do that in just a bit. I wanted to get everybody caught up, get a little bit of griping done. Very nice morning. Overall cooler this morning than it was yesterday morning, but warmer overnight, interestingly enough. And you know, actually, it was about 50 yesterday morning, and like 55 this morning. So maybe it just feels cooler. We're supposed to have a cooling trend coming in through tomorrow. Wait, today's Monday. So they say through Tuesday, and then a warming trend starting Wednesday. I'm getting close to those mountains, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be out of the desert by then. Hit Brawley. I'm going to get faucet water. I'm going to maybe get some food, some meat maybe, and want to see about what they have for poor and homeless people. Need to get more dog food is really what. I mean, I can share with them what I eat, and I have done in the past, and I will in the future, because it takes more work to cook for them, because that's cooking for 3, and I feed them a lot better than I feed myself most times. God, I have slimmed down so much since I hit the slabs. I've got pants that used to be comfortable that are now practically falling off of me. You know, that's good. Long-term health, being more on the underfed side is healthier. But it's not always comfortable. Let me get some background. Maybe. Cars coming. Zoom, zoom. Anyway, yeah, whatever. I will definitely get back on the food horse when I manage to get a job and someplace stable, a job or someplace stable. It certainly makes it a lot easier for me to get around, because I'm not moving all the way to the equipment plus my own. Nobody likes a scrawny guy, though. So, hit those spots in Brawley. See about getting maybe some poor people's food. Maybe definitely get some poor people's dog food. And maybe check into 1 or 2 of the churches, see what's there. I am almost positive that there are really noisy trucks on the road. I'm almost positive that there's not a Unitarian Universalist church and probably not a Unitarian or Universalist church. Either one of those. But if I can find a Evangelical Synod Lutheran, which was my mom's faith, is my mom's faith, was, I don't know. I haven't been in touch with family for a long time. Or maybe an Episcopalian church. Those tend to be pretty good, although, you know, around here they might be pretty conservative just because this is a fairly conservative area. We'll find out. Either way, you know, if I can get some assistance, I'm not going to talk politics with them. So, we're just going to schlep on through Brawley. If I can find some place to hole up for a little while, I'm going to give Casey a break. And then we'll see. You'll know. Well, you won't know. You'll know in the future. This stuff isn't getting posted anywhere near contemporaneous to when I've filmed it. So you'll find out when I post sometime in the future. Yeah, whatever. Folks, have a great day. Hope you're in better spirits overall than I am. Although, you know, I'm feeling pretty up since I've been on the road. But I still listen to the radio. Shit that's going on. And, you know, the worst part is I listen to the people interviewing, and especially when they're interviewing Republicans, and they don't call them on their shit. Somebody said something today. What was it about? Oh yeah, it was something about Trump pulling us out of the nuclear arms deal with Russia. One of them that Reagan did, start two. And there's a guy with one of the Russian news agencies, and they said there was something about England being supportive of us pulling out of that, of Trump pulling out of that. And the guy said, well, I don't think I'd give any credence to England. And that was it. He didn't say why. You see, that's the thing. So many of these fucking politicians, they say something, but they don't back it up. And even worse, what was it, Don Gagne? One of those regular anchor men did not ask him, well, why is that? Of course, the guy kept talking. It's part of the reason. But he didn't come back to that and say, now you said this, why do you think that? Why would you say that? The news is supposed to be about communication, and they are failing, even the better ones. Is it any wonder I don't have any faith in the future of this country? Well, that's kind of a bummer to leave it on. It is what it is. We'll have lighter things to say as we go on. But until then, I'm Brawley bound. Later on.